On April 16, 2025, the UK Supreme Court handed down a historic ruling that has sent shockwaves across the country. In the case of For Women Scotland Limited v. the Scottish Ministers, the court ruled unanimously that, under the Equality Act 2010, the word woman refers strictly to biological sex. This means that transgender women, even those who possess a gender recognition certificate, are not legally considered women under this specific law. This landmark decision has major implications for the interpretation of sex-based rights across the UK. The judges clarified that when the law refers to sex, it means biological sex, not gender identity. This effectively supports the continued use of single-sex spaces such as hospital wards, women's refuges, changing rooms, and sports competitions based on birth sex. The response to the ruling was immediate and deeply polarized. Protests erupted in London's Parliament Square as thousands of transgender and non-binary individuals took to the streets, arguing that the decision could lead to increased discrimination and exclusion from essential services and safe spaces. Melanie Field, a key civil servant involved in drafting the original Equality Act, strongly criticized the decision. She said the ruling directly contradicts the law's original purpose, which was to provide equality and protection for transgender people under anti-discrimination law. On the other side of the debate, gender-critical campaigners, including For Women Scotland and author J.K. Rowling, celebrated the decision. They called it a victory for clarity and the protection of women's sex-based rights, especially in sensitive environments where biological distinctions matter. The ripple effects of this ruling are already being felt. Healthcare providers like the NHS are expected to reassess their patient accommodation policies. Schools and public institutions may need to rewrite guidance and protocols to reflect the clarified definition. Even government departments are preparing to adjust how they collect sex-based data to align with the legal standard. Though the court reaffirmed that transgender individuals remain protected under the characteristic of gender reassignment, the decision clearly separates gender identity from legal definitions of sex. This distinction has become a flashpoint in ongoing debates surrounding the rights of transgender people and the interpretation of equality laws. The UK's Equality and Human Rights Commission is expected to issue updated guidance later this year to help employers, service providers, and public authorities understand how to implement the court's ruling. This decision marks a turning point in the legal and cultural landscape of the UK. With public opinion deeply divided, and with both sides claiming fundamental rights are at stake, the conversation is far from over. Australia's Discrimination Chief condemns UK's definition of woman. Australia has quickly entered the conversation. Cody, Australia's Sex Discrimination Commissioner, publicly condemned the UK ruling. In a strongly worded statement, she emphasized that human rights belong to everyone, and declared that the UK's interpretation of the law is not the law in Australia. Cody reiterated Australia's commitment to inclusivity, saying trans and gender diverse individuals should be safe, respected, and legally recognized. Her response drew praise from lgbtq rights groups, who see it as a necessary stand in a moment of global legal tension. Cody's remarks highlight a growing divide between the UK and countries like Australia on the legal recognition of gender identity. While the UK ruling is being hailed by some gender-critical activists, others argue it sets a dangerous precedent for rolling back trans rights. In Australia, the Federal Sex Discrimination Act includes protections on the basis of gender identity, and reforms in several states have removed medical and surgical requirements for gender recognition. As the debate intensifies worldwide, Australia's stance sends a clear message. Inclusion, respect, and legal recognition are non-negotiable. Like, share, and subscribe for more updates on global human rights issues.
Thanks for watching. Let us know what your thoughts are on how this case has turned out. Like, comment, share and subscribe for more. Thanks.